Hey Libra, welcome to my channel. This is going to be your weekly reading. These readings are timeless, and if any reading that is not your reading draws you in by the title or by the number of the actual time it took to film, feel free to click on it because we are all the signs. These are intuitive readings, and again, they're timeless, right? So let's just jump right in and see what Spirit wants you to know for this week. Libra. Libra. We got a jumper. A jumper. Okay. Sylvanius. Very interesting. Okay. I get a feeling that there's a man that's wearing a mask. There's a man that's wearing a mask, or a feminine that's wearing a mask. It's romantic. Someone's wearing a mask though. And you are standing in your light and your power this week, and you are not about that life. You're like, nope. And it's something about your energy. Even last week was very like in alignment. I love this. So there's a man that's wearing a mask, and you are in your truth. You're standing in your truth and your power, and you're cutting out everything that doesn't serve you. See, I feel like that's you in the middle. But the man is taking off his mask. So it could be that your truth, right? Your light and your truth. And I feel like you're pursuing, and if you're not, the divine is asking you to pursue like your life's work. I feel like you're stepping into like whatever talent that you possess, that you can be an entrepreneur. I feel like Spirit is wanting you to step into that and to actually make a living out of, right, doing something that's a natural gift to you, whether it be tarot or, healing, Reiki healing, whatever it is. It could even be something more practical, like food, selling food, something. It's like you're applying your talent to the new, like to the future, making your talent resourceful. And I feel like that I'm speaking to a feminine that's stepping into that power because she knows, and she's being led and guided by the divine to do that. Because with these twin flames and all that, it's really not about the other person. It's really about your personal ego death that you experience, and then where to go from there is actually honing in on your soul, because your soul is like being stripped away of everything that was holding it back, right? Like this it's like an astral thing that happens And when you are triggered by your twin to ascend, the nasty like black aura that's on top of your soul, that's like there from all the years of conditioning and being low vibrational and projections and stuff like that, that begins to fall away. So I feel like you're at a stage where all the negativity that was on you is almost like falling away, and you're getting to know yourself, and you're understanding what it is that you're capable of doing. There's no limiting like self-beliefs or doubts. It's just like pure self-love and truth. And you're something about your throat chakra is being highlighted here, where you're like able to communicate in a way that's respectful and direct, and you're really not taking no shit from nobody, because you're finally stepping into your light. And a lot of people could be looking at you crazy, like, who are you, what do you know what I mean? But you have to keep going, because it's gonna take you to a place that it's like gonna be heaven on earth here. And I feel like also why I wanted to touch on the masculine or your counterpart, sex doesn't matter on the readings. They're not, right? It doesn't apply to gender, so whatever. But the person, it's like the download is that I received is like, when you do that, when you allow time to heal, when you allow your soul to, come through and begin to purge, right, all the negativity, and then you're guided by spirit, and spirit's telling you, do your life's work, and then you're looking like, what did I come down here for? And then you start to do that. That's the key. That's the key to being with your person. That's the key to either being with them or not, really, because nothing's guaranteed. It's not a guarantee that they're going to come in. But even energetically, right? Because twins mirror. So energetically, they will begin to take off the mask, begin to do the same thing, begin to step into their truth, whatever that is. But the key, right? It's never about them, it's about you. So what's being highlighted is a person that is being guided by spirit, and you're like totally following spirit on this one. And you're like, I don't know what's coming, but I know I'm gonna go down this road because it's what God told me to do. And with this Neptune and Pisces being retrograded, I'm not an astrologer, but I'm a Pisces, and I know that if we're not following spirit, right, then we're just as good as like done and doomed, because our egoic mind, because we never really lose our ego fully, right? We need our ego to sort of be that little low vibe thing, right? It doesn't go away. And even to identify us as who we are, right? Because we still have to have some sort of identity. I don't know where I was going with that. Oh, right, the astrology. So it's like, if you are not being led by spirit, which is like that intuitive nudge, right? The people on the other side, source, God, like everyone is like guiding you. Don't do that, do this, right? It's like there's like a doubt when you live your life like that, because you don't know, because your ego is unaware, like what's going to happen next. It's that unsurety that a lot of people have a problem with, right? That's why a lot of people are stuck, or they're stuck in their ego, or for whatever reason they can't just surrender fully to God, because it's that unsurety that, it kind of chains you. So if you're not following spirit during these times, and this is like a collective message too for everybody, like if we're not following spirit and God and the way we approach career and love, finances and stability, it's like you're being led by your ego, and your ego thinks it knows everything and it knows what's best, right? Because it wants control, but control is the devil. That's why it's like a complete surrender. And for a Pisces, it may be easier or whatever, right? But it's like we all have all the signs within us and we can tap in at any point in time. So it's like where it's more easy for me to do something like that, it is easy for you too. It's just a different thing, right? It's just, it might be more foreign, but you still have that ability to do that. And it takes a lot of love and trust in God to do this. Courage. Dark Lady. All right. So yeah. So you're like so unafraid to be led by spirit. I feel like this is what it's saying. You don't fear it. You have courage. And if you don't, if it's not resonating, Spirit is asking you to look for the courage within you because it's needed, because you're going to delve deep into the unknown here. But there's a higher calling by the divine to just slow down the thought process. I feel like you have kind of hushed your mind up here, and like, because we're not our minds, right? We're just beings of love with light, and we have consciousness. It's an awareness, what the soul is, right? So you're realizing here that the higher calling is asking you to kind of silence your mind here when it comes to things. And I feel like things are still coming up that are like triggers, because life is always going to be, ups and downs. So I feel like if somebody is like, triggering you or manipulating you or what have you, you kind of get wrapped up in your own goals in life. And then when something like that comes along, it's like it kind of might trigger that your mind to kind of react. But Spirit is like, don't allow that reaction. Take things slow. Remember, stay focused. Because you're cutting out all the bullshit and you're aligning. This is like the most important thing that you would have to do in your life. To be happy, to be stable, to be independent. Because if we all do this, if we all follow our the reason why we're here, then everything will just it would be a blessing. And I feel like all your dreams will come true. And you will have heaven on earth. If you're being guided by Spirit and you listen. And then you're doing your life's work. And you're loving unconditionally too. You're loving your person with no conditions. With no judgment. So when these triggers do come up, of course you have a thinking mind, right? You're probably going to get triggered. But then always cut that shit out, right? Like, okay, I feel whatever. Nope, no, I don't. I don't feel that. And it's not suppression as much as it is getting out of your mind. And I like to do an exercise where I'll go within my soul and go to that awareness of the awareness that's observing the thinking mind, that's, because we have all these thoughts, and I go there and then I tell myself I am one with my twin, because if you think that you're separate from them, it causes separation. And the divine doesn't want you to do that. And I don't do that so that I can be with him. I do that because when we honor who we are, because that person is you in another body, when we honor that, we appease the gods. Do you want to appease them, or do you want to bring turmoil into your life? I do it because I have to do it, because I love God and I love love. So I do that, and then I say I'm in alignment with God. So when you claim that, and you have the capacity to love someone regardless of what they do, and then you accept that, and then you give yourself to God and say I'm in alignment with God, it's like everything starts to fall in. So then that's your sword of truth. And I feel either you're doing this or you're in a space to receive the knowledge to begin to do this, because you're fully aware and capable, and you have the courage to do it. And we all do. You got to take things slow. When, chaos starts to like come into your life and people start to bicker and talk shit and do all this extra shit, it's like, no, I don't need to entertain that. I don't need to vibrate on that level. And then you go within, and that's like true spiritualism. That's like ascendant master monk type spirituality. But never let go of the love, though. That's where I think a lot of people are getting it messed up, where they're like, oh, we'll detach from the person and just, you know what I mean, shut down your heart. It's like, no, don't shut down your heart too. Love unconditionally and do this, and I promise you that the limits are gonna be boundless. And I promise you, because I just know it, not because my life isn't perfect, right? But we all gotta start somewhere. I love you so much, Libra. I hope you got something from this. I know I did, because I love to go over this stuff. And yeah, I'll see you next week, okay? Bye, hon.